Tonight, Ojai 84 welcomes special guests Malcolm McDowell and Mary Steenburgen. And we'll take you to Ojai's own Mardi Gras. All this and more on Ojai 84.
Hi, I'm Lola Haag, sitting in for Phyllis, who, like a lot of other people, is home in bed with the flu.
And I'm Steve Solano. Welcome to the second edition of Ojai 84. We'd like to thank you for all your favorable comments and remind you that you can write to us at Post Office Box 1500 to tell us what you'd like to see on Ojai 84.
A lot has been going on at the Art Center recently, including the first annual Mardi Gras Grand Carnival, which featured prizes for the best costume, arts and crafts, and authentic filet gumbo. Linda Botts, along with Scott Horner of Q105, and their close friends Ron and Mimi of the Bird in Paradise and Bandit, presented the first annual fashion show and costume party. And it obviously was a great success. Linda Botts did the cooking, Scott Horner supplied the music, and the invited guests showed up in costumes of all kinds. The fashion show took place earlier in the day and was a cooperative effort of Oaks Boutique, Barbara Bowman, Kindred Spirit, Running Ridge, Corbs, and of course, Bird in Paradise and Bandit. We asked Mimi what gave her the idea to have a Mardi Gras.
Well, Linda Botts had learned how to make a filet gumbo this last summer, and she wanted to do a party with Scott Horner, and then Ron and I decided to join in and do a fashion show, and we would incorporate the town, too, not just have it all our own little thing. And it was a good excuse to get dressed up and wear costumes and really have a good time.
So there will be another Mardi Gras next year?
Definitely, and this coming year we're hoping to do a parade down Main Street with a big fat ox to start the parade off like they do in New Orleans, and we're going to try to incorporate more of the townspeople for the fashion show and really make it special, make Ojai known as the Mardi Gras place.
Do you have any fashion shows coming up in the future?
Yes, in April we're going to probably have a trunk showing with Liza Adzer, who does the hand-woven Moroccan clothing. And then in the end of May, we always have our annual fashion show where we choreograph a whole show and do it with a theme. And we're looking forward to that one fashion show especially.
Let les beaux temps rouler.
Let the good times roll. Let's party.
You speak French very well.
Merci.
I'm glad that Bernard Slade wrote tribute in English. That one I can handle.
You could sense the ovation that Rick Hallmark and the rest of the cast would receive long before the curtain call, because they had given a truly exceptional performance. We asked Rick how he liked playing the part made famous by Jack Lemmon.
I've not ever seen tribute purposely because we're doing the show. Because nobody could match Jack Lemmon, so we try to interpret it our way. I think our objectives as actors and actresses is to move the audience to some emotion, either to laugh or to cry or be repulsed, if you will, but to move them. If they go out static, if it didn't say anything to them, it's a waste of time. We worked very hard for 6 long weeks to try to say something to the audience.
Linda Dale talked about the other cast members.
Wonderful. It's a wonderful cast. It's, I would have to say, the most talented group of people I've ever been with.
This is the first time I've ever done anything of this length on stage before. So it was greatly appreciated on my behalf and the cast. I got a lot of support.
The one thing that I enjoyed about this part is I played actually 2 characters. I played Hillary, and I also disguised myself as a nurse for a tribute for Scotty. The whole play is based on the fact that Scotty has a lot of friends and we're paying tribute to him. It's a comedy with a little bit of sad undertones, but we try to lift them up.
It's been a wonderful experience. The cast was terrific to work with, and it's just been a terrific, wonderful time for me.
My part is it's not a long role, but it's a difficult role because there are a lot of laughs at the same time. I have to keep up this constant tension to try to get this character to do the thing that I want him to do.
When the people respond, as this opening night audience did tonight, to what you've done, it makes all those hours of work well worthwhile.
Producer Joe Huber has been actively involved in the Arts Center for the past few years and has worked in all phases of production. Tribute, however, is the first play she ever produced.
We've been working on the production since it starts in about November, lining up a work crew and working with the director and the auditions and getting everything going, the publicity. This is my first production, and I didn't ever realize how much work was involved, and so I can appreciate what producers go through now.
Rick Hallmark and the character he played both had birthdays this week.
It was on Wednesday, as a matter of fact, and I got another cake then.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Remember, Tribute runs through March 10th at the Arts Center.
We'll be right back with our very special guests.
When buying or selling a home in the Ojai Valley, consult the people who know the Ojai Valley. Ojai Realty for prestigious Ojai properties. The original bank in town has been Ojai Realty since 1917, and you can be sure that your purchase or sale will be handled courteously and efficiently. And Ojai Realty exclusively represents only fine, well-maintained homes and businesses for sale or lease for every price range. For the home you've always wanted, call Ojai Realty at 646-4331.
Storer Cable, a commitment to excellence in community service. Because it is your show, America. It's your story. It's your home. That's why we've gone out into the communities we serve and found people who have made their own commitment to excellence. Excellence in the arts, in sports, in helping others. Storer cable systems all over America have turned local origination into a viable programming alternative. Our production facilities and trained personnel allow us to leave the studio and go to where the action is, whether it be a high school football game or a city council meeting. With Storer Cable, we're always there. For over 50 years now, Storer has been a communications company committed to excellence.
It is our pleasure to have new Ojai residents Malcolm McDowell and Mary Steenburgen here with us. We really appreciate their taking time away from their busy schedules to be our special guests. First of all, welcome to Ojai.
Thank you very much.
Tell me, how long have you been living here in Ojai?
I think we moved here just before Thanksgiving. We wanted to make sure we spent Christmas in Ojai.
Oh, that's nice.
But we wanted to live here for a number of years. We have some friends here that moved here, and they kept saying how beautiful it was.
Well, we were looking for a long time for a place where we could bring up our children that was relatively safe, that was near a big metropolis, and that was also very beautiful. So we were really looking for something rather special, and we looked for a very long time. We went to New Mexico, we went to the east coast of this country, and we even looked in England too. And Ojai, strange enough, is the place that I think fits the bill in every department. Has wonderful schools for our children, it's safe, relatively. Has a wonderful tennis club. Has wonderful weather. I think it's just the most, well, we both think it is the most wonderful place we've ever lived in, and we'll never leave it.
And its history, of course, is really magical and everything. But I find the people really wonderful. I love just the sort of prosaic part of life here, you know, just going shopping and doing whatever you do to make your life go. It's pleasant here.
Where are the valet parkers? That's what I want to know.
The what?
Valet parking. No valet parking here. It stuns me.
I know. It's so nice.
You can actually park outside a store here.
If we had more budding actors, we would have more.
No. In fact, we got wise to talking about it. I was doing the big promotional thing for this movie, Cross Creek, and people kept saying, where are you living? And we say, south of Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. We don't want to. We're very protective of Ojai, and we just want very special people living here.
Did you meet through your work?
Yes. We were doing a film called Time After Time, which was my second film. I don't know which film it was of yours. He had about 11 and 12 under his belt by then. And we it's a wonderful movie that if you haven't seen it, you should get a video cassette of it or whatever, because it's a really magical little film. But anyway, we met when we started working on that, and I think the love story off camera was better even than love story on camera.
Well, I bet. And part of the magic was between you.
It does. It really does.
She's amazing. She's got these wonderful thoughts in the brain, but it's a long way from there to there.
It's because I'm from Arkansas, and part of my body works. You know, my mouth is slower than the rest of me.
So you moved. I know that you moved away from Arkansas at the age of 19 and moved right to New York.
Yeah.
And it must have been. Were you? Did you move into an apartment yourself, or
oh no,
it must have been a frightening experience.
Oh, it was terrifying. I was 19 and I didn't know anybody there, and I went to this terrible little place called the East End Hotel for Women, and I'd seen a brochure of it, and it said swimming pool and health club facilities.
It was the East River, wasn't it?
Yeah, the swimming pool was the East River, which was right across the street. The health club facilities was a little a thing of brochures on their desk saying "Join the New York Health Club," which was so expensive I couldn't possibly do it. And I had room and 2 meals a day for $42 a week, and you can imagine about what that was like. It was horrible. But anyway, it got me through the first sort of few months.
Did you go into training to lose your accent?
Oh yeah, oh gosh, yes. No, I taught like this, and I had to, I discovered quickly that you can only, unless you want to make a career of Tennessee Williams, you've got to lose that accent. So
I just did Cat on a Hot Tin Roof here in town last summer, so I know.
Great play. Well, I wanted to have a choice about it, and the funny thing was when I actually first started working in film, my first film was that of a woman from Texas, in a film with Jack Nicholson called Going South. That's a woman from Texas, so it was funny to go back to it. But it was a lot of hard work to lose that. And my parents are here now, so it's all back. In case they're saying,
in 2 weeks,
but she still sounds Southern to me. Yeah.
In the competition for that role in Going South must have been considerable with so many aspiring young actresses.
Well, yes, it was, but luckily I was so young, I really didn't know much about my competition. I was a waitress and actress in New York, working in little theaters at night for no money, and I went in to a casting, to meet a casting lady for something totally different, and happened to meet Jack Nicholson there, and he felt sorry for me. I was the only person in the room that didn't have a script. So he gave me a script just to sort of be nice, and the next day when I came back and read, he kept me reading for about 2 hours, and then flew me out to Hollywood for a screen test. And then it was big competition, because with the other people testing, they were all actresses who had made a lot of films. So that's when I thought, there's no way I'll get this, but I was lucky.
That's fantastic. Was Clockwork Orange your first film in the United States? Or?
No. My first movie was called If, which was a very it's a very good movie, actually. It's sort of a minor classic. The director would call it a major classic, probably. I'll only say that because it's still fairly recent, although I made it in 1968 with, for a director who is one of the greatest directors I'll ever work with, probably, called Lindsay Anderson, who I went on to do 2 more movies with in a sort of trilogy of movies. One was the one that I wrote, which is my own kind of story when I was a coffee salesman, which I was before I was a professional actor, called Oh Lucky Man. And the latest one is called Britannia Hospital, which was out about a year ago. So If was my first movie. I then, which was a big hit, a very big hit in Europe, and it won the Grand Prix at the Cannes Film Festival, which is big potatoes in Europe, you see. Especially for that kind of movie, which is sort of borders on an art movie. In America, it's an art movie. In Europe, it isn't, funny enough, but therein lies a tale, I guess, the difference between the cultures. Anyway, I went on to do 2 more movies, one with Joseph Losey, who's a very sort of arty kind of director, one with Brian Forbes about a paraplegic. And then I did Clockwork Orange in 1971, I guess it was, maybe 1970, I'm not sure. The decision to stay was purely based on the fact that I met Mary. You know, I suppose it was a kind of a weird thing for me to do, was to move out here, because even though we speak the same language with different twang to it, the culture is so different. It's very weird, you know. So anyway, I mean, I love it here, so it doesn't really make much difference.
That's great. If the right script came along, would the two of you consider working again together?
Oh, sure. We love to work together.
It does make life simpler, I bet.
No, we did a thing together actually for cable TV for Showtime. We did Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. We did that for our children, actually. We have two children, and we thought that they would appreciate that. And actually, he's so great in it that our daughter only calls it the Big Bad Wolf, so I got bumped. My billing is really the Pits in that one. But no, we love to work together, because besides, I think, having a respect for each other's work, we have an almost shorthand about how to work together. And a lot of the things that you have to go through when you first meet somebody that's new, we don't obviously have to go through it.
Right. It makes it a lot simpler. What can we expect to see, the two of you, or I mean, individually, in this coming year?
Well, now,
you can see us at the locker.
You know, Ojai is the nasty.
The fabric shop. I met a lot.
Safeway. No,
Baylor's.
It's hard to leave Ojai. I don't like that.
No,
that hour and a half drive into LA has become like a chasm.
We're real martyrs
opening.
if we have to do it.
Wait till the traffic starts to bother you.
No, it bothers us. All right, we don't like to leave it. And my agent's already complaining. She says, you know, please come in for this meeting. This is really an important film. And I said, yeah, but I got to go down to the tennis club today. It makes you not want to leave. So
well, I have something coming out that I did last year for CBS. On CBS, it's a sort of special movie that is on network TV here, and then it opens in theaters outside America. It's called Arthur the King, about the legends of King Arthur. So that's fun. That's kind of a fun movie with Diane Cannon's in it and Candy Bergen. And that's quite good.
Thank you both for being with us today. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. Great pleasure to be here.
Next up, RSVP's Royal Couple.
The warm ambiance of dinner at the Nest is only surpassed by the extravagant creations that are served. The Nest, where you'll feast upon only the freshest cuts of meat and local seafood, magnificently prepared and enhanced by the presence of locally grown produce. Appetizers and cocktails are always served at the spacious Nest Loft, where you can choose from the finest spirits featuring award-winning California wines. For outrageous desserts, daily lunches, or a weekend country breakfast, it's the Nest, where you'll experience warmth in the truest sense of the word. 108 South Montgomery, across from the Art Center.
Those of you who saw our opening show will remember Howard Chewning answering our question of the week about the Olympics. We're going to have to make him a regular on Ojai 84 because he's back again. Only this time, he's the star. The Retired Senior Volunteer Program crowned its king and queen at the annual Valentine Tea Dance. More than 200 seniors danced to the music of Old Maestro, a Santa Barbara dance band that played all the old favorites. The average age of those present, according to Shirley Shirtliff, was 75, but that didn't stop these folks from having fun. The king and queen of the dance were introduced by RSVP project director Carol Gillespie and came as a great surprise to the royal couple.
Does this say Lieutenant Howard?
Howard coordinates the Senior Patrol of Ojai, which provides extra street patrol for the Sheriff's Department and checks on the homes of vacationers. Sally's schedule is full, serving as receptionist at the Little House, teaching a sewing class, and serving in the Senior Patrol. We wish Sally and Howard Chewning at least another 37 years together.
Senior class president, Amy DeMaria, has been selected to host the portion of Ojai 84 devoted to the activities at Nordhoff High School. And she's here with her special guest.
We are here today to talk to Coach Smith, the athletics director of Nordhoff High School. We'll talk about the past sports and the upcoming sports. Coach Smith, Nordhoff sports have been very successful this year. To what do you attribute this success?
I think there's quite a few factors that have allowed us to be so successful this year. We've won boys and girls cross country, boys basketball, and we had co-champions in girls volleyball. We've got a lot of good athletes this year in the freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior class. I think most of our sports teams have gone through the season pretty much injury-free. I think there's been a lot of games early in all of our seasons where we won some close games, we got some victories, and I think winning became a habit at Nordhoff this year.
Track season is coming up in the near future, and you are the coach, is that correct?
Yes, I'm coaching the track team this year, both the boys and girls track team. We started practice 2 weeks ago. Our first track meet is this coming Thursday, March 1st against Fillmore. And I think that tracks continue on with what success we've had so far this year in the rest of our sports.
There's also a few other teams getting started right now, such as the baseball and the boys tennis and swimming, right?
Right. In the spring we have girls softball, both a JV and varsity team, boys and girls swimming, golf, which boys and girls play on the same team, baseball, JV and soft rush, and of course track. And we're all starting to get into our seasons within the next week or two.
What do you predict for this upcoming season in track?
Well, last year we had 8 different girls that qualified for the CIF running events. We were in the girls' second place to Agora. This year I think that we're going to have the potential of qualifying anywhere from 10 to 20 athletes for CIF. Hopefully we can challenge Rio Mesa and Agora for the boys and girls championships. And I think that we have the potential to be one of the strongest teams at Nordhoff in track and field that we've had in a number of years.
We'd like to thank Jack Smith for joining us today and giving us an update of the Nordhoff athletics. Events we'll be covering in the future include the Parents' Prom, the Campus Radio, which has just been put in, and Landscaping Day. This is Amy DeMaria with the Nordhoff Forum.
According to Steve Bennett, the Nordhoff Activities Director, the parents at the prom must be chaperoned by, you guessed it, their sons or daughters.
This buzz for the team behind the U.S. Olympic team, the coaches and the trainers.
Okay, nail that dismount.
Stretch. Put him high and duck under. We're going to get the Olympics take teamwork, and Budweiser is proud to be part of that team. This buzz for you.
The fine work of Ojai artists Kent Butler and Sharon Hinke is on display at the Oaks now through the end of March. They are 2 of our favorite artists, and we plan to have them on as guests on an upcoming show. Art by Beverly Bennett can also be seen at the Oaks through March 31st.
Ojai 84 congratulates Beth Hill and Todd Wilson for receiving the 1983 Outstanding Citizenship Award honoring Ojai Recreation Department volunteers. Beth was honored for her work with the gymnastics program. She helped the steering committee organize fundraisers for money to build the new gym at the Boyd Center. She was also instrumental in raising funds for badly needed gymnastics equipment. Todd, manager of the Ojai Valley State Bank and former president of the Optimist Club, received his award for his efforts in rallying the optimists behind such projects as the Halloween program and the Nordhoff Pool Improvement Program, of which he is publicity director. The Improvement Fund has raised almost $48,000, but it is still short of its goal. Many fundraising events are planned, and Ojai 84 will be there to keep you informed. Last Saturday, the Children's Home Society held its 3rd annual 5 and 10K race through Miners Oaks and the Arbolada. 198 people ran in the 2 events, and the first one to finish was Greg McNeil of Nordhoff. The Children's Home Society provides free services to children and families in crisis situations and works very closely with foster parents in the placement of adoptive children. Our congratulations to all the entrants, In a race like this, they're all winners.
We're always there, 24 hours a day, with the finest programming cable has to offer. And the list of entertainment and information services that we can provide is growing almost daily. Our commitment to excellence is one that has made us what we are today, one of the largest cable operators in America, serving subscribers in over 400 communities from coast to coast. So, when we make a commitment to entertainment, you can be sure that we will stand behind that commitment 100%, because it's part of our commitment to excellence. Get with Storer Cable and get with the show.
That brings this edition of Ojai 84 to a close. We hope you've enjoyed being with us, and we invite you to become a part of our regular viewing audience. In the shows to come, along with our regular features, we will cover as many events as time will allow. It is and always will be the policy of Ojai 84 to be informative without being a news program, to present as many sides of a controversial issue as we can without being opinionated, and above all, to give you an alternative source for local information. Thanks for being with us, and good night from Ojai 84.
Good night.
Be sure to watch Ojai 84 every Tuesday and Thursday night at 7:30.